Lios Enchim Anyavu. Greetings, everyone. May the Creator bless you all. And welcome to my podcast, the Good to E Medicine Podcast. I'll be your host, Pete Rodriguez.
All my native people stand up. All my native people stand up.
Okay, guys, so good morning. It's Sunday morning. Let's see, it's June 14th on a Sunday. Let me turn down this. This is the first time I'm using the, I'm going to make the podcast. This is episode 21, and I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube. So hopefully, if I get a good response of recording the podcast on video as well for everyone out there, that way they can see. So maybe soon I'll have guests as well and have them on the podcast and videotape them as well. But so this is the first time we're going to do this through video as well for the podcast. So welcome to episode number 21, and I'm here in my home office recording, having my coffee. Really good. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be hot today. I'm looking outside my window. I have it set up like this, so I love looking outside at the window, the trees. It's a little breezy outside. It's really nice. So welcome to episode number 21 of the Good to E Medicine Podcast. This is going to be the first episode of season 2. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I did 20 episodes in season 1 the first year, and this is the second year, so I'm going to change it and make it season 2. So this is the first episode of season 2 of the podcast. So this podcast episode is going to be just a reflection of the campaign I did for 2020, for the Pascua Yaqui Tribe Elections. So it's over. It's in the books. It's done. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about, I want to touch the microphone, see if I got to get used to this. In this episode, I'm going to pretty much talk about my firsthand experience as running for tribal council for the first time, and also how it changed, and couple of things like delivering the message is one of the big things. You know, we used a lot of social media, and we're in a pandemic right now. COVID-19 is happening, so that's changed a lot of things we did in our delivery of the campaign message. So I'm gonna talk about that first. And the second topic I'm gonna talk about is also one of the innovative things we did, which was one of our candidate forums. We had to conduct some online candidate forums, and that was really neat experience for us here with the tribe and another group we worked with to pull off these candidate forums. They were online candidate forums. We had introductions, and then we had Q&As. So that was a huge undertaking that we were a part of. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Some of the, I guess, skeptics that had on those forums we conducted with a group, and I'll talk about that later in the podcast episode. I'm having my coffee. So lastly, I'm going to talk about the third thing is going to be our group. We had a team. It's called Naute Tekipanoane, which translates into We Will Work Together. And that was one of our group or teams that we put together for the 2020 elections. It was a group of candidates that we formed so we can help each other during this campaigning. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that towards the end of the episode. And lastly, will I run for council again? Am I going to run for council? I'm thinking. That's my thinking phase. For those of you watching, I will let you know at the end of the podcast if I'm going to run for council again in 2024, but that will be at the end. So I'll let you know. I will definitely let you know. So in this episode, again, we're going to start off with the campaigning during the pandemic. It's COVID-19. It's happening all over the world. It's affecting everyone, especially a lot of the people in native communities. Like the Dene has been hit very hard. Other native communities here in Arizona, and the Yaqui tribe as well. Our tribe has been hit by the pandemic, the virus. It's close. It hit close to home for me as well in our family, but I'm gonna save that for another episode, hopefully soon, about how COVID-19 is affecting even my family personally. So we'll save that for a different episode, but that's gonna be a good one. But I hope this episode finds everyone well. You know, you and your family dealing with this pandemic. I know it's been really bad and hard for some people, but one of the things that normally, under normal circumstances, during a campaign, a candidate will announce their candidacy, and they usually will share their platform online with flyers, town hall meetings, forums, in person. But during the campaigning and the whole COVID, this is changed. This is not going to be the same. The strategy might be the same, getting the word out of your platform, what your ideas are, but the tactics have to change. So these are a couple of things that changed when I started my campaigning. We had the platform, we had my ideas, what we're gonna do, what we would like to see change, and some of the things we wanted to bring to the tribe. But the way we delivered them is going to change. So that changed for a lot of not only myself but all the other candidates as well. But one of the things that we embraced or had to use a lot, and some of us for the first time, was social media. I was already used to social media, so I love social media. So I had a lot of social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is huge. I had a website. So I was kind of used to the social media aspect of it. So I really enjoyed that part, but social media played a huge part in campaigning in 2020, especially with the COVID and the pandemic. We had to use, um, like I said, Facebook was huge. I used Twitter also and Instagram. It seems Instagram worked a little bit better as opposed to Twitter. Twitter wasn't as good, but I enjoy Twitter. But they all have different, needs, or what do you want to accomplish depending on your social media, your message, I'm sorry, what you're trying to put out there. Twitter's different as opposed to Instagram and Facebook, but Facebook worked really well, and second was Instagram, and then Twitter was last. I've also used YouTube to put the videos like this one and other videos I use, but that's the way we delivered our content, our messages, our videos was through social media. That was the main thing we did. And also we used videos. We used a lot of videos. I'm taking my coffee. It's still morning. It's about 10 a.m. here in Tucson. But we use videos. Usually a campaign a candidate will talk to people in person, or they'll go to a town hall meeting or different types of meetings, and they'll get in front of a group of people. But that wasn't possible during the campaign. It was just not possible during the COVID. I'm sorry, during the pandemic. So what I did was make introduction videos. So those videos, and our team as well, we made videos. We made our own personal introduction videos. Then we made group videos, and those were all sent out through social media. So videos were really big, and I think they were a key for people. They really enjoyed them. So we get to see them, we get to talk to them, we kind of get to look at them and see what they're about, see how they talk, see how they interact with the, even though it's a camera, you're still interacting with the person. So I think videos were huge. They basically contained a welcome, who you are, who your family are. I think it's really important for candidates to talk about, their family, where they're from, especially with the Yaqui tribe. A little bit of history about themselves, and most importantly, your platform. What are you? What is your platform? What are your ideas? Mine were education, sustainability, and empowerment. Those were my three main platforms. that I had during my 2020 campaign. And I think it worked out really well. And secondly, were flyers. I saw a lot of flyers. There were a lot of flyers. That didn't change. The only thing that changed was the delivery method, the circulating of the flyers. That changed. So that was a different tactic. Strategy was still the same: getting your flyers, getting your message out there, printing them, or making them in a PDF or a JPEG and putting them out on social media. So that kind of changed a little bit, but the delivery, method changed, which brings me to the second tactic, which is going door to door. So that wasn't possible during campaign and this 2020 campaigning with the COVID and the whole pandemic. So that wasn't possible going door to door. Actually, it was frowned upon. It was not very popular, even though I, so to speak, went door to door, not actually knocking on doors because of the pandemic, but I felt it was still important to try to go door to door. So instead of going door to door, we went to more like a mailbox to mailbox, fence post to fence post. We're still out in the community. We made our trips to Guadalupe. We made our trips to other Yaqui communities like Benhamo, Hightown. We went to Coolidge, Marana, 39th, Old Pascua. We went to all the different communities, actually walked the communities, me and my team, and we distributed flyers. But instead of going door to door, we placed them on the mailboxes. We actually went to the neighborhoods. We put them on fence posts. We hung them up on, I saw a lot of them on mailboxes taped, so we distribute our content and our flyers in that method. So that was a change in the door to door. So it was a normal door to door interaction. Even though we did sometimes get stopped by a couple of community members that did want to speak to us and did want to know more information personally and talk to. And in our culture, you don't say no. If somebody invites you into your home or to your yard, you have a cup of coffee, they offer you a glass of water. It's customary to offer you a glass of water, a cup of coffee, invite you in. So it's very rude and actually very bad to say no, I can't. So we were invited maybe I would say a handful of times when we were out in the community. But we practiced our social distancing. We wore our masks, you know, during our interactions with the community, and we spoke to them and we listened to them. I listened to them, what their concerns were. And like I said, we always practice our social distancing during those interactions with the community. I thought it was very important. I mean, I don't want it to sound bad, but I avoided it. I didn't want to be out there talking to the community all the time. So we just left early in the morning. We put up our flyers. We folded them. We sent them out. We hung them up on all the mailboxes in all the communities. So that was one of the things we did, and it kind of it worked. It worked out well. I think it was good. We appreciated, the community appreciated having the flyers there, because a lot of the community members, they were in quarantine or did not want to come out and meet with the public. They didn't want to go out to the stores. They didn't want it, so they appreciated us bringing the content to them in person. A lot of people don't have social media. They don't have Facebook. They don't have a laptop. They don't have iPhones. They don't have anything. I've heard from community members, how are we supposed to know? So we spoke to them, some of them, and said, well, we don't know. So they appreciated, this was the only way they could know about candidates, was through giving them the content through flyers. So they really appreciated that. So a lot of to keep in mind, a lot of the community members don't have social media. They don't have computers. So this was the only means for them to get that information, was through flyers, through not door to door. I would say mailbox to mailbox, fence post to fence post, leaving the information on their mailboxes and so on and so forth. So they really appreciated that. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting out there. We had our masks on and we practiced our social distancing. And the next thing we had to do is to do our candidate forums. Um, so these were something we had to be that we conducted online, that we had to do instead of having our traditional town halls where we meet people, our forums where we invite candidates and we all sit down at a table similar to this, and we ask the audience, the community asked the candidates questions, and we talk back and forth, kind of like a town hall. We could not do that during this time, during COVID, during the campaigning. We could not do that. It was not possible. So that brings me to my next topic was the candidate forums. So we conducted online candidate forums. We started off with the introductions, candidate introductions, and that was run by a a group of students, which brings me to my next topics, which were the candidate online and Q&A forums, which was a huge success and a huge undertaking. So my next topic is candidate forums. So these were amazing, but first and foremost, I want to give thanks, a huge thanks to the Yaqui Student Alliance for all of their hard work. They put in countless hours to make the 2020 PYT candidate forums and introductions a huge success. A huge success. So the forums, let me go back a little bit. The forums, the candidate forums, this wasn't the first time they were done. So they were done during the last elections, and I believe maybe even 2 elections ago, they were done by the Yaqui Student Alliance. They were started because we needed a way for the community to get the information from the candidates. For community members that wouldn't have no other way to get this information from the candidates. Either they were busy with you know time, they didn't have the time to meet the town hall, to go to the town halls, to go to the communities, location, work, school. They didn't have another way to interact or meet the clients or talk to the clients. The candidates. So the candidate forums were started about 2 elections ago, and now during the pandemic and COVID, they were even more important, more essential, because there was no way to meet the candidates face to face. There was no way to do town halls. There was no way to do forums. So the candidate online forums were huge. So these were done by the Yaqui Student Alliance. So these were huge, and they did an amazing job. We owe them a lot. A huge thanks to all of them. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, I guess, maybe a misunderstanding about the online forums and some of the speculations that came, I guess, from the platform we used, the broadcast, the stream, how we streamed the forums, which were streamed. They were done with a Zoom meeting. All the candidates were brought onto a Zoom meeting, and then they were streamed on, let's see, to a to Facebook. They were streamed to Facebook to a page called Yaqui Community News. And I think that's where a little of the speculation and the misunderstanding came from, because Yaqui Community News, as you may know or not know, it was created by myself. And I work with a team, a couple of colleagues that we moderate and run that page. And Yaqui Community News is a Facebook page, and it has a huge reach. We have over, gosh, last time I checked was, what was it, maybe 10,000. Let me check really quick. Let me open up my page here. Give me a second, guys. Here we go. So it's Yaqui Community News. It's on the Facebook, and we have a. Let me see. Well, oh gosh, it's not showing. Let me see if it shows here. Overview. All right, it's not going to show on my iPad. But we have a reach. Like our last post reach was 73,000 people. I think we just went over 10,000 likes, maybe. I think it was, I think it's more than that. Let me see if I can pull that up. No, it's not pulling up, but we have a huge reach. Give me a sec. New page likes, new followers. I'm trying to find the likes. But regardless, we have a huge reach. So our page reach from the last 28 days was 73,000 people. So that's one of the main reasons we use that platform, Yaqui Community News, to reach the most people. So we used my page, the Yaqui Community News page, to reach a bigger audience. It was conducted by the Yaqui Student Alliance, and like I said, it's run by me and a couple of colleagues. And I think that's where the misunderstanding came from, because I'm a candidate and another colleague that moderates the page, Facebook page, Yaqui Community News, is a candidate as well. And I guess people were asking like, well, how you guys are candidates and you run the page where this questions and answers are being conducted, so how can that be? That's your page. You're being biased. You probably know the question. All kinds of weird stuff came up, and some people were kind of rude, but we won't mention their names or go into that because it's understandable, whatever. But for the record, the Q&As, the introductions, and everything associated with the online forums were conducted, they were planned, and they were executed by an outside party. This outside party was the Yaqui Student Alliance. It's made up of a group of students, and then if you want, I'll put a link in the comments where you can check them out and know a little bit more about them. But again, myself and my colleague that help moderate the page, we were never involved in the forums, the Q&A, the introduction. This was all run by the Yaqui Student Alliance. We kept ourselves out of it. They only used our page, our Facebook page, as the platform to put the forums on because we have the most reach. So they used it in that way to stream the forums, and that's it. I don't want to get too technical, but we have one of my colleagues that helps me moderate the page. They gave the students I guess it's called what's it called? They gave them a stream code. So the Yaqui Student Alliance, they got this stream code and they entered it into their Zoom meeting somehow. They got all the candidates, and then they were allowed to stream the Zoom meeting, the forum, onto Facebook, and then the moderator turned on Facebook Live and then ran the forum and streamed it, on Yaqui Community News. That's it. That's all. We didn't know the question. We were completely out of it. We didn't run it. We didn't conduct any of the interviews, the questions, the set up the scheduling, the times, nothing. It was totally run by the Alliance. So that's how that worked. And they did an outstanding job. Imagine scheduling 60 candidates to do a Zoom meeting. If you ever done Zoom meetings, so the way they did it, they did the introductions first, which were like 2 minutes, and then after that they scheduled Q&As, forums, and they did it there's 60 candidates, so they did it in 4 blocks, 20 candidates each for different times. I think they were done on Mondays for 2-hour blocks, and the questions were brought up by the students. We had nothing to do with them. None of the candidates, none of them knew what the questions were until the day of the forum, until the day of that Zoom meeting. Then the questions were brought up, and we didn't know. None of them, none of the candidates knew. So this was extremely legit. It was run by the students, and it was streamed on Yaqui Community News. And it was a great success. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. We got a lot of good feedback. The forums allowed people that wouldn't otherwise be able to see or hear the candidates by any other means. We got good feedback that they enjoyed the candidates. We got one by a gentleman. He was, you know, disabled. I believe he couldn't see very well, so he could hear the candidates. He really enjoyed it. Another person from Old Pascua, he said he doesn't have social media, so I uploaded all the forums to YouTube to this channel.
All my native people stand up. All my native people. Yeah.
So hey, welcome back, everyone. I took a little break. I gotta remind myself to charge the batteries to the camera. So we're back. We took a little break, get some water. So let's continue. Actually, we're almost done with the episode. I left off on the community forum, the candidate forums, how they were completely independent. Outside party conducted them. The Yaqui Student Alliance did everything, did all the work. They did an amazing job to get these forums out to the community members, and they did it like an amazing job. Like I said, it was 100% legit. We didn't have nothing to do with it. It was they conducted everything. They did an amazing job. Very professional. I love how they did it. And it was well received by the community. Like I said, we had some doubters, some skeptics, and hopefully we cleared it up and with this episode as well. But we don't need to go into it too much, because I know in my heart that it was completely legit, and they know, and that's all that matters. So one of the biggest things that we learned is teamwork. It's essential to accomplishing these new and innovative things like the forums, these Zoom meetings. A lot of people had to adapt and use these different tactics, I guess, if you will, and to do these things to campaign. Now, a lot of it was possible by working in teams. The Yaqui Student Alliance, for example, worked in teams. They had a lot of people working on different aspects of the bringing the online forums to the community. We had they had their team of students working on the questions, some of them working on the Zoom meetings, the technical part. Then they had our colleagues with the Facebook page using the stream to upload it, to get the stream going, to conduct the scheduling. It was a huge team effort, which brings me to my last topic, which was teamwork. We formed a group. You may have heard of them. It's Naute Tekipanoane, which translates into "We will work together," and and that was one of our the groups that we formed when we were starting our campaign. And it's nothing new. You've seen groups form of people, maybe one or two candidates, maybe three or four, and that's pretty much what we did. But one of the things that we wanted to do is be transparent, completely transparent in our message. So let me see. I was going to look for, what? I don't find it. I'll just leave it. I was trying to find about our group. Let me find it. Oh, I think I found it. Let me see. Info. Okay, about our group. First and foremost, we give thanks and gratitude to our ancestors. Now I'm reading our intro to our group, our team, Naute Tekipanoane. So, first and foremost, we give thanks and gratitude to our ancestors and all of the past leaders in the community, council, and ceremonies for their contributions to the Yaqui people. Naute Tekipanoane, or we will work together, are tribal citizens of the Pascua Yaqui tribe from their respective communities. We chose to work together to help continue build the Pascua Yaqui nation, notably through our current campaigns for tribal council. So we are as a group, but we also are individuals. So we also have our individual platforms and our campaigns, but we come together to help each other as well. So continuing, we are a synergistic team that came together to share each other's resources for our individual campaigns. Each of us carry our own individual strengths in leadership, and they are unique reflections of our connections to PYT. We intend to show this to you through this page and through our individual campaign pages. So remember that by working together as a team, we will advance together as one nation. By doing so, we will be building the integrity and sustainability of the tribe, and we hope accountability is upheld by PYT tribal citizens as well. So that's a little bit about our group, Naute Tekipanoane. And like I said, it was formed. One of the main things, like I said, there was a bunch of there's groups being formed throughout campaign history, the tribal elections. They get together, a couple of people, maybe one or two or three or four, and they help each other. They run together. They help each other. Some people call them a slate. They have different agendas, but we did this to help each other as well. But we wanted to be transparent. Transparency was the biggest things our team wanted to do, and we say this. We have our Facebook page. It's out there. Our ideas. We had a logo. Our platform, we wanted to be 100% transparent, and we did this from the get-go, from the beginning, before anybody had their Facebook pages up, before anybody had their videos. We did our intro videos. We had everything online on Facebook, 100% transparency, what we're about, what we're talking about, our videos, our team videos, our individual videos, everything was online, 100% transparency. And we said we are a team, we are a group, this is who we are, these are our names, this is where we're from, what we're doing. So that was one of the main objectives, was to be 100% transparent to everyone. And so that was it. So we conducted one of the things we did, we helped each other with everything from campaigning to our videos. We helped each other. It was amazing. Our group, our team was amazing. We did a great job. We helped each other in all aspects. We motivated each other. We helped each other. We drove to different communities together. We put up our flyers together, our campaign signs together. We did everything. It was a great experience. We did an amazing job. I love our team. We did an amazing job. And one of the things we did, which was different, we conducted our own online forums and town hall type meetings, and this was done on our own. Now, this was different from the candidate forums and the Yaqui Student Alliance. I think that's where people got maybe a little bit confused. This was our group, Naute Tekipanoane. We did our own online forums, our own town hall type meetings within our own team. So that was the only difference. This was conducted by myself. I played kind of like the moderator, but the questions came from you, the community. We got all of the questions. We went online. We went live through Zoom, and we had our team members come on, and we took the questions live. So they were town hall. We took all the questions live. They weren't pre-done, or we had them. They were conducted by all of the people that were on the Zoom meeting. On the Facebook page when we were on live. So that was really nice, and we just did it on like a town hall. So that was really good, and the questions came from you guys, the community, the constituents. So we did it that way. So it was completely legit as well. The only difference is this was our own online town hall meeting conducted by us and ran by us. But the questions came from the community, you guys out there. And I uploaded them to YouTube so you can see all of them. Even the Yaqui Student Alliance run forums, they're all on YouTube on this channel, so you can go back and check them out. So that was the only difference. So, like I said, it was really successful team. Naute Tekipanoane. We motivated each other, like I said. We walked with each other. We helped each other give shade, water. We got ice chests together. It was a huge team effort. We stayed up late together. We had our Zoom meetings almost every week. It was a great effort. It was a huge success. And I mean by success, it was a successful team effort. And also we had not one, but two of our team members on council. They got elected to council. Congratulations to them. So this was a big win-win for the whole team. We had Antonia Tony Campoy. She got re-elected to council. She was one of our team members. She got re-elected for another 4 years to council. So congratulations to Tony. And Andrea Gonzalez. It was her first time elected to council. She was one of our team members as well. She got elected to council for the first time, another one of our team members, and she got the most votes. She got the second highest out of all 60 candidates. Andrea did, and it was her first time running. So those two candidates, those two team members got elected to council. So our effort as a group, I would say, was a success. It was a win-win situation for all of us. All of us, congratulations to Tony and Andrea to be elected to council for 2020 through 2024. So I'm really happy. I'm really grateful and proud of our team, Naute Tekipanoane. And we are not going nowhere. The team is going to continue. I left the Facebook page up if you want to check it out. We're going to continue doing things with this group, the team, Naute Tekipanoane, moving forward. So we were asked in one of our forums, are we going to keep this going? And yes, we are going to keep this group going into the future. We have a couple different ideas, maybe use it as a way for youth or someone that wants to run for council in the future, maybe in 2024, they can join the team. Naute Tekipanoane. Maybe we can do workshops. Maybe we can do different types of talks, forums, town halls, different types of things to get people, hopefully the youth, involved, and we can use this team that's already been established. We have our page, we have our logo, we have different content. We have people in council, Andrea and Tony. They can be mentors for our future youth that want to maybe someday be leaders and join run for council maybe in 2024 or maybe in the future. So they can use this team, this group, this dynamic. We already started it, so they can join and we can mentor them and we can use this team. And of course, in 2024, we'll be back. Naute Tekipanoane is not going to go nowhere, so it's going to stay. So I'm really happy, like I said, I'm really grateful for the team and the team members, all of you. Very grateful for your contribution and helping me and the rest of the team in our 2020 campaign. It was a huge success, and congratulations again to Andrea and Tony for being in council. And lastly, I wanted to touch on, I had time to reflect on the campaign and the process, all of the good things that happened. Some of them were, I saw a lot of negative things and some not good things, but I'm not going to focus on that. I just focus on the positive things that came out of the campaign. I'm very happy with the results for myself being first time running as a tribal candidate during the COVID, the campaign. Um, I don't have a huge family base like other candidates do. I come from a small town, Eloy, so I don't have a huge family voter base. But I did very well. Like I said, I come from a small town. My name is Rodriguez. It's not a big family, Yaqui, I guess, family name. I don't have a big, huge extended family, a voter base to start with. I come from a small town, urban community, Eloy, but I did very well for the first time. I'm very happy with the results. I'm very grateful. I'm very, very happy. I came out like in 25 or 26 out of the 60 candidates. I did very well. I'm very happy with the results. I only needed a let's see, I only needed several 180 maybe votes. I made it would have made it into council. I I believe I let's see. I got a total of almost 400 votes, 392. Thank you so much for that. And the 11th spot got about 600. So I only need about 200 some votes. Hey, I would have been in council. 200 more votes. So I got to work on that for 2024. Which brings me to the last part of my podcast. Will I run 2024? That brings up the last part. And let's see. I believe, yes, God willing, the Creator, I will run for the 2024 tribal elections. I will run. Um, I have it set in my mind. I'm thinking about it already. I'm gonna change a couple little different things. 4 years is still a long way in the future. A lot of things, will change. We'll see how the world is. There's a lot of, things happening right now. Um, as we speak, there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of different things happening in the world. So who knows what 2024 will bring? But right now, it's in my mindset to run for council again. I will change a couple of things, here and there, but I definitely will run. Hopefully, God willing, the Creator, everything works out well on the next couple 4 years. So I think I'm gonna start a little bit earlier, maybe even a year earlier, half a year earlier, and start, talking about um, platforms, some ideas. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it changes in the next couple years. But definitely, I will run for council again in 2024. I'm gonna try to get those 200 some votes. A lot of things can change, so we'll see. And I think I did very well. So maybe in the next time I'll get enough votes to hopefully be and represent the community and the Pascua Yaqui Tribe in council. So in closing, that's pretty much it for this episode. Congratulations to Tony and Andrea for making it to council, part of our team. You guys did an awesome job. We did an awesome job. And so thank you for listening. I did check the analytics on our podcast, and we did go over 1,000 load, 1.23, something like that, 1,000 loads for the podcast. So thank you to all of the listeners and listening to the podcast, Good to E-Medicine podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast and subscribing, and also to YouTube. So hopefully, you'll subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, the Yaqui Vegan, and hopefully we'll be doing some more podcasts, but we're videotaping them like this episode and uploading them to YouTube, so you can also see, you know, interact and see where I'm at and what I'm doing or who I am. So hopefully that'll be another part of the podcast, so we can upload more videos of the podcast, so you can listen to them as well on all your favorite platforms as well. So lastly, thank you, Choco Tesiavu, to everyone, and don't forget, health is wealth. Stay healthy out there. Stay safe. Um, you know, practice social distancing. We're still in a pandemic, COVID. Um, these are some trying times right now for the tribe, the community, the nation, the world. So stay safe. You know, hope you find peace and health. And lastly, make it a great day. It might start off rough, week, month, whatever, but you can change that and make it a great day. I'll always end the podcast with it, that you can make it a great day. And hopefully, you know, we'll see you again. And hopefully, I want to upload some more podcast episodes regularly. Um, we're going through some trying times right now, so I'll try to upload some more, and maybe some more positive, and we'll get some more um, guests on the podcast as well. But thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.